Hello YouTube, it's Cliff again with I guess another video, but this time not scheduled. I was originally going to do a build with original Phenom X4, but this came up beforehand. So this is my primary laptop. This is a HP 8770w. Um, yeah, an 8770w. It's got a 3rd gen 3840 QM, an i7 3840 QM, I believe, at 2.8 gigahertz. It's a quad-core Ivy Bridge CPU. It's got 32 gigs of RAM. It's got currently a Quadro K5000, which is the Quadro equivalent of a GTX980M, I believe. So it's slightly lower clocked, uses different drivers, and it does have 4 gigs of VRAM, but it's actually been dropped out of the supported driver release for Nvidia, so it's no longer supported. In here I have two 8TB solid state drives and a 2TB mSATA solid state drive, as well as a DVD drive. And this is what I mainly use for light gaming and just general productivity work. So sometimes I actually edit my videos on here. So what we're going to be doing today is actually upgrading the GPU. So this is a GTX 980M. I just got this in the mail from China. So this is apparently compatible with this workstation. It uses this Mini Express module. I believe this is a 3.0B socket. And I believe you could go up to a 10 series GPU on these machines, but the issue is you need the Dream Color display. Mine is just the original or standard 1080p Full HD display without Dream Color. The Dream Color display is very rare and hard to get a hold of. It is also expensive, and I guess you can't use cellular, but it doesn't. I do have the cellular card in here, but it's only a HSPA Plus card, which I believe is going to be sunset pretty soon. That's kind of like 3.75G. It's not 4G, and I know AT&T is going to be sunsetting their 3G network soon. So we'll be going ahead, and as I said, we're going to be installing this 980M. I have some Cryonaut thermal paste for both the CPU and the GPU, and I have some thermal pad in case we replacement thermal pads in case we need it. So a little bit of overview of this workstation. Let me open it up. I'm doing this mirrored, so this is a little difficult, but not much I really need to show you. Let's see if I can do this live. So I'm gonna sit down. It's gonna be hard for me to see the camera, but at least I should be able to keep the workstation somewhat in center of the screen. So let me go ahead. This is the extended battery, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And I do like these business class workstations because it's so easy to remove everything, just like, you know, removing the battery. Don't steal my Windows 7 Pro key. And then just panel slides out like this if I wasn't such a barbarian. Yep, there you go. This is, oh yeah, this clip's for the battery, this clip is for the memory access. See, look how easy that is to get in. Really just, you know, move this button, it injects this whole case out, and you get to all the components. Just like what I love about these kind of workstations. So you can see we have our two memory slots at the top here. This is obviously 16 gigs, 8 gig and 8 gig, DDR3, 1600 megahertz. We have our Intel Citrino N6300 Ultimate. This is tri-band. I do have an AC card I put in here. It was giving me a little bit of issues. The BIOS does actually let you use it, which is good. So I might put that back in there in the future. And this is the cellular card. This is a 2TB mSATA drive. This was a pull from a Samsung T2 external drive. You can't boot off this, and this is only SATA 2, but it's obviously just extra storage. And then I have my two main drives under these bays. I believe this is the smart card reader assembly on top of this drive, and then this other drive is just chilling here. So what we have to do is we have to first undo the keyboard. I actually don't think, I know I've done it before. So I think we just want to go to these, got my iFixit kit over here, got my iFixit screwdriver. We want to get this screw. You can see on the, you can't really see on the camera because obviously I'm just using my cell phone. But there are, I believe, 3 or 4 screws. They are marked with the keyboard indicator. And they come up and we can just pop the keyboard off. Let me see, I got this one. I got this one. This one's for the DVD drive. I'm gonna have to take the DVD drive out anyway, so I might as well do it. So most of these screws are captured. There goes the DVD drive. Yeah, we go ahead and unscrew this drive. Screw right here. And I think that's it for the keyboard. I mean. Okay, so I think those are the 3 screws. I also have the service manual on my other computer I can pull up in case I need it. But let's go ahead and flip this upside down. Well, I mean, everything's reversed in this way. I'm probably gonna get a lot of dislikes because of this. Let's see. And I want to lift it up this way, I believe. Yeah. This is what I have some of those parts of this iFixit kit for. I gotta make sure I got all the screws too as well, but you know what they say. Yeah, I need to break a few eggs to make an omelet, you know? Yeah, there we go. I have to see if there's any extra screws I forgot, obviously. It feels like there might be one I'm missing. Let me go check. You can tell I'm a professional, so. I think it's only that 3. Let me just go ahead and loosen this up some more. Yeah, I think so. I don't see any more. I also do have, like I said, the service manual pulled up, but let me check the timer. Am I good to get? I can only do 10-minute intervals on my S8, which is kind of annoying. I guess I could use a different camera app, but the native camera app won't let me do 10 intervals. Oh yeah, here it comes along. Just needed to, you know, when in doubt, force it. No, don't. Okay. And there's just some ZIF connectors we need to remove. Does this just pull out? Yeah, I guess so. Be a little careful with this. These connectors always make me worry. All right, and there's the keyboard out. Just 3 ZIF connectors. That's good. You can see other memory. You can see the heatsink. This is the GPU. We'll obviously have to get to. And let me go ahead and do some prep work. We have to pull out the trackpad ZIF cable. The I think the fingerprint reader ZIF cable right here. These just pull straight out because they're interesting. There's no locking mechanisms or anything. And then this ZIF cable, and then this ZIF cable, and this one as well. A lot of ZIF cables, my favorite. Also, one thing I want to fix is this latching mechanism. This one is broken. I don't know if can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. This latch doesn't hold the screen down. I push it down, so that's one thing I want to take a look at when I have that. Oops. Maybe do a little bit of cleaning as well when I have the case off. Okay, so according to the manual, now that that keyboard is out, I want to do undo the MX 2.5x6 screws. These are Torx. Let me go check real quick. Torx, the Torx T5, yep, 8 of them. So this is how professionals do work. Okay, let's see my Torx screw set. Torx screw, Torx. I'm guessing these are TR8s. Just play the game of put a screw in there. Yep. So we want to do 8 of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Check the time. 8 minutes. Okay, because I'm a forgetful person, let me just do this. Boom, it's like I never even stopped recording. You can't even tell. Okay, just reset my 10-minute timer. And let's go ahead and just keep taking some screws out. One thing is, I guess it's a little bold, is that, you know, this technically isn't a supported GPU. I mean, it works, but I don't know if I have to edit the device, the INF files of the video, of the driver in order to get it to work. I used to have an 8710w, which was a Core 2 Duo-based machine, and I upgraded that to basically a 8800M GTX when I was in college, and that required me to what's it called? To modify the INF files of the driver in order to make it so that it would install. Fun stuff. See my head in the screen? It's cool. Okay, I think, how many of these? I should probably count. 1, 2, there should be 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. That's easy. Then I can remove these screws here and these 2 screws here, I believe. So go ahead and grab them. So put this next to the DVD drive so I remember. And I love working on older machines like this that are, I mean, it's still not very old, but I mean, it's so much easier than any modern machine, especially a Mac. Remove the 8 Torx T extrude, remove the 2 Phillips and the 4, disconnect, and then move it, lift it up. Grasp the cover by the hole in the optical disk drive and lift it up to get you. Okay, that should be all the screws. Like I was saying, I don't work on any of the newer Macs. I work on some of the older Macs. It's easy enough to repair a display assembly on those, but trying to do anything is just a nightmare. So, okay, I never actually lifted this top piece off, so this is gonna be a first time for me. Yeah, unlatch this magnetism just in case. Okay, getting somewhere. I have all the ZIF cables disconnected, so I shouldn't have to worry about any of that. All the screws disconnected, I believe. Okay, as long as I don't break anything, which I don't plan on doing, this should just all come off. So, that was actually really easy. Okay, so what we got here? We have our main fan, we have our GPU, and we have our CPU block. I'm going to repaste the CPU. I'm also going to check on the bottom here of this casing to figure out why that latch isn't latching. This is this one. So what's going on here? Anything I could see compared to this one that latches down? I don't think so. There's nothing I could really tell from this outside part. I'll take this apart maybe later after the video. Okay, so I'm guessing one thing we'll have to remove is this cable for the display. No, we might be able just to, yeah, we probably want to remove it, but let me remove the, I guess the GPU block first, or you know what, I might want to consult the manual on this because I haven't gotten this far yet, obviously. So, it looks like this would, I don't know how the fan is held in there, but yeah, let me go ahead and I'll be right back. Let me check the manual. Okay, so it turns out we also have to remove the display assembly, which is going to be fun. I guess it makes sense. It's kind of locking the whole mechanism in here in place. Let's go ahead, put this upside down again. And we're going to go ahead and remove all the antenna from the wire for Wi-Fi and cellular cards. So I'm just going to unclip this, unclip these, clip these. I'm just going to route each cable back and out. So there goes one. There's two. There goes three. And here comes four. Oh, this one's actually the one I need to get first. 4 and 5. Okay, so I can now flip this again, up like this. And I could pull these through here. So it looks like there's little clips here, little guide clips. Gotta be careful of these. Obviously. I guess careful of everything on here. Then again, I am just kind of like a barbarian when it comes to anything computer related, so. How many of these? 5? Oh, that's the modem cable. Do I have to remove this VGA port? I think I do. Let me just do it just in case. It seems pretty easy to do. It's just this screw here. And I believe this pops up. Oh no, does it? Yeah, it does. Boom, VGA port, gone. Oh, Aladdin, very interesting. So, okay, there's a little piece of tape. I have to just move that. Okay, that's a little released. Okay, on this display cable, got to be a little bit careful on this. Pull this up. I'm gonna untape this. Okay, and I'll try not to pull from the cable itself, so it lifts on both sides. And pull that out and release. Okay, and I guess this cable as well, this must be the webcam USB input, mic input. Let's go ahead and then do the same thing here. Okay, that's been removed as well. There's 2 screws here. Undo. Those are back torque screws. I'm going to do these torque screws. Let's close the lid again. I probably should have done that the other way, but whatever. Now I want to remove all these torque screws. You won't be able to see this on the back of the machine. Alright, this is intermission time. Well, quick works on a difficult angle. It's only got so many hands. Okay, put those 4 screws there. This plate apparently comes off and exposes the hinges. And do I have to remove it? This is what I took off. So, does that mean this display bezel can now just come out, or are there additional screws that I need to lift up? Yes, there are additional screws. I believe there's these 2 that hold it in on the back. Yep, I feel this plate coming out, so I'm holding that. Okay. And if I did everything right, I should just be able to pull this straight off. Oops, get this held down. And out the display goes. So now we have like the base of a computer. It's still pretty weighty to it considering most of the stuff has been removed. Okay, I should be able to figure this out now. So we want to go with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I also want to then remove screws on the fan. Okay, does this pop up or anything? Yep. Careful, I'm trying to pull off these thermal pads if I can. Unplug the fan grill. Okay. See if I can just put these back. Try not to touch these with my fingers. Oh, I'm gonna touch it with my fingers. These are actually in pretty good condition. Just one little strip which goes right here. Okay, that's not bad actually. And you can see here's our old GPU. Looks like it's held down by a couple screws. And it looks almost exactly the same as the replacement one. So, is there anything else holding this in? Can't tell. It feels like there is. Am I missing any screws? Check the bottom. Well, I mean, there's. We have to lift it up first. 1 second, let me cut it right here. Let me just figure out what's going on. Yeah, according to the manual, it just said remove those 2 screws and lift it up, so there goes nothing. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's thermal pads in the back. Okay, so lift it at a 45-degree angle, then pull out. Ah, yeah, thermal pads from the memory, I guess. So, okay, those look to be in good condition as well. It's pretty cool. Quadro card. So, and if we can see, we do a side-by-side comparison. Most of the components, almost all the components look like it's in the same arrangement, so it should be good to reuse everything. Just obviously some new thermal paste. So let's go ahead and slot this new bad boy in here. And the color scheme matches too, even better. 45-degree angle. And we can put it down, set it down. Just make sure it's in. I don't want to have to do this again, obviously. And push down the PCB right here. Screw it in place. I'm gonna go ahead and get some alcohol, clean off the thermal compound, install some cryo knot. You know what? Let me actually undo the CPU one as well. Give the little cleaning. I should give these both a cleaning. I'm probably gonna do that off camera. The most of them might break, so I should have probably started this another time. But you know what? You're gonna do what you're gonna do. So. I mean, who says you can't upgrade a laptop? Certain laptops. So. And there's our CPU. Yeah, I should clean this out a little bit. I don't know how good of a view you guys are getting, but hopefully it's good enough to describe what's going on. But I'm actually going to run this through the duster. I'm going to clean off, I'm going to run it, I'm going to try cleaning it off a little bit. I'm going to clean off all the leftover heatsink gunk and stuff, and we'll go ahead and I'll turn back the camera on once I have it cleaned and ready to go. And then I have my thermal paste and everything. So. Okay, so you can see it got, everything cleaned off nice and shiny. So let's go ahead and put on the Cliff appropriate amount of thermal paste, which, I'm gonna just slather it in it, Yeah. So a little line just like that on the CPU, and more of a bigger glob on the GPU. Don't want to use too much, don't want to use too little. That should be good. Let's go ahead and reinstall the CPU heatsink and clean this off. That's snugly in there. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to take it off. I want to see if I did a good amount. So let that do that. And now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's a good amount. Back. Okay. 2. I think I should do 4, 3, 2, 1. You doing a reverse order? Oh well. Might just add a little bit more to the GPU. Just a little tiny bit. Okay. Let's get the GPU heatsink and let's slap it on there. I guess, and the fan as well. I cleaned this off a little bit. Okay, lined it up. Did I line it up? I think so. Yeah, let me go 4. Screw these screws in actually. Make sure to plug in the fan. We will need that, so. I have this lined up, right? Okay, try 4. Okay, actually let me undo these. Just want to make sure I'm not drilling into the GPU PCB or something. Oh! I forgot. Break, I forgot. I know what I need to do. The cross bracket is missing. I need to take it from the other GPU. Just this little guy. It's because there's nothing to mount the hole. There's nothing for the holes to screw into. So. See, even professionals can make mistakes. Now I do make quite a few mistakes. So. Well, that's what these videos are for, I guess. Not really for anything else. Don't know why this fan bracket's so twisty. Okay, now we should be good to go. Oh, you should make sure. Make sure these thermal pads are a little bit better lined up. Okay. And now, while I push these down, they should screw into something. There we go. See? Okay. Perfect. Now I'll screw the fan in. Don't want to over tighten, but don't want to leave them too tight in. Okay. Plug the CPU fan back in. Or I guess just the system fans. I think it's the other way. Perfect. Take all these wires, kind of like just push them under here. Need this up a little bit. Okay, so it looks like that's all installed. And if I was a if I was a sensible, not a dumb man, I would boot it up right now and test it. But we're gonna put it back together because I am a glutton for punishment. After go back to work, and then I'll come back later and start putting things back together. So go ahead, make a cut here. And I'll be back trying to get rid of some of the dust. Okay, I'm back. Got some more time now, so let's go ahead and let's finish this up. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, we installed the graphics board and the new graphics board. We replaced the CPU, and we're ready to put the display assembly back on. So we'll go ahead and grab this display assembly, and let's slide this back in here. I can line it up. Okay. It's kind of lined up. Am I missing something? Now I have to remember what I was doing. So. Go ahead and put in the 2 screws first. Torque screws, I forget. So right now off screen I'm just installing the main display bezel screws. Oh, shoot. Okay, thought I dropped a screw. Okay, now I want to do these other 4 screws that go in the back. Sorry, you can't really see any of this. You're seeing the glorious table, but there's not much I could do when I have to hold the laptop in such a weird way. Okay, the rear screws are in. I just have to put that plate back on. Make sure it's flush. I can make this flush. Oops. Careful screw. Stay. Thank you. Really, it's just kind of like a guide piece. There's nothing necessarily that like. I thought it would like clip into stuff, but it doesn't really. So okay. You can kind of tell that someone put this back together now, so. But this means the display assembly should be back on. Let's have this last screw in. Yep. Interesting. I guess I just never realized the construction of how the system was put together. Okay, there we go. Nice and hingy. Let's go ahead. Let's reroute some cables again. This is going to go through here. Through here. And this clicks down right in here. Make sure everything's kind of like seated good. Seated well. Seated good. Sure this cable's plugged in all the way. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I'll back down. Okay. Get all of these guys in a nice little bus. Guys or gals? Have them all. Okay, that's good. Get this guy back into his guide rails. Okay. Okay, that cable's all plugged in. Good. Just double check, everything's solid. Plugged in. That's all good. Okay. Let's go ahead and start getting these cables and routing them back through this thing here. Try to do them in order so they have some semblance of orderality. If that makes any sense. Okay. Okay. There you go. Those are all installed. Let me get this little VGA port back up on here. Let's go like this. Slots into this connector here if I had some more light. It was brighter earlier today. There we go. It's in. Let's screw this in. Perfect. Okay. Next part, getting these cables routed down here. Lift this end up, just feed them through one at a time. Probably going to put these little these antenna cables back on last, because in case I do have to take them off. I could boot the workstation obviously without them in. It'll just be a real pain for me to have to go through and round them all nicely again. I think these goes, yeah, slots under that. It's always the fun parts. Okay, so that part's all done. I wanted to check out the I'll put this over to the side for right now. I'm going to check out this little locking piece, see what's going on. So if I have it like this, it's this one. So when I press this button, when I press that latch, it pushes this center piece. Just take this off. Can I take this off? I don't want to break anything. Oh, it looks like it might slide out. Yeah. That seems to be fine. I guess let's put it back. Because worst still comes to worst, I can always just replace that little part. Okay, check the time. Oh, let me go ahead and cut it and restart the video. Okay, so let's go ahead. Take one of my leftover CPU cleaners. Just go through here a little bit, try to get a few little pieces of dust while I have this open. Okay, let's start by putting this back part in. And just punch it down into place. Oh, wait a minute, no, let me check. I think everything's pretty good, yeah, in terms of cable. I don't think any are messed up. To worry about like moving around. Famous last words, right? Oops, hit the tripod. Sorry. Just snapping all these pieces back into place. Doing an alignment check. Yep, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and put all these ZIF cables back. That's one. See, I never know if these are in all the way. It's two. Well, I'm not a big fan. That's three, I think. Yeah. It's four. This one has a latch. This one is hard to get. I'm trying to figure out if I got it in all the way. This is just one of those ones where you push it down. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's all good. Let's go ahead. Get the keyboard on. And so far I have no missing parts, which is a good sign. Okay, get this little guy in. Actually, yeah. Sorry, it's just taking this time to put all these ZIF cables in. Is really a pain. If anyone's ever worked on a laptop before, they know what I mean. Especially when they don't have enough slack. It's my head in the camera. 1 second, let me put this down real quickly. There's two latched ones, which is used for the keyboard and the little track point. It's not locked in, right? I don't think so. No. Just having a hard time lining it up. There we go. Oh, jeez. Look, got it. Popped out. Okay. Now I got it. I hate these things. Did I tell you guys how much I hate these things? This one has a lot of slack. They don't give me a lot of slack to work with either, so I didn't have that open all the way. Oh. I remember why I don't really take my computer apart. Okay, I think that's in. Well, at least if it's the keyboard's not working, I know it's not fully in. So. All these clips in. Okay. Now before I screw everything back together, put the bottom case on, let me go ahead and put the battery in there. Let's test it out. No explosions so far. And we have a video. Oh wait, F10 on HP machines. Oh. Well, it's booting the Windows. There's no IGP on this machine, model type of machine either, so that means it has to be the video card, which is great. Mouse works, about the keyboard. Keyboard I might need to put back in, yeah. It's not registering all the keys yet. We just slide this. Okay, go to I'm going to type device manager, like I could get to it. Display adapters. Oh, Microsoft Basic display adapter right now. Probably because I might need to modify the INF files, but that's easy enough to do. So, view optional. I was just seeing if Windows updates detects it. A bunch of HP stuff. You know what? Really quickly, let me just test this on camera. Go to Nvidia. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to test this on camera because I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for right now and fix the keyboard. And then I'll come back once the system's all up and running. Okay, everybody. So I'm picking up where I left off. It's a few days later. If you can't tell, I kind of forgot where the last part of the excuse me, forgot where I was in the last part of the video. But as you can see, I have my 8770w booted up in the Windows 10. So at first, when I installed the 980M, it installed a Windows default driver dated late or mid 2018. Upon trying to install the normal Nvidia driver, this version, which happens to be dated from April 12th, 2021, it's met with like it doesn't find supported hardware, and that's a normal thing with when you upgrade a laptop GPU like this, is that the platform ID and the device ID does not match anything in the signed Nvidia driver. So you have to do something called Inf Modding. Basically, you just open the INF file corresponding to your manufacturer, and you edit in a new string that's a couple of new strings that point the 980M in this case to a valid device ID, or the device ID of your 980M. So in order for the driver to install, the only issue is doing that. It makes it it doesn't match the payload. It doesn't match the signature. So Windows 10 treats it as an unsigned driver, and you can only install that in test mode. At first, that's what I did. The only issue is in Windows test mode, you can't play certain games because it thinks you're cheating. So what I did is I signed my own version of my modded INF driver. You can see it says Digital Signer Nvidia. Well, that was actually me. Hopefully Nvidia doesn't come after me. That's just a joke. They have no reason to do that. But I signed it as Nvidia, or I basically made my own signature, my own file, and signed it and installed it. And so you can see we're running on the latest version, which is dated at 4/12/2021. It's signed. We are not in Windows test mode. I was able to play a game of Valorant and what other game? Fortnite without it complaining. Hopefully I still don't get banned for using a self-signed video driver, but at least the game works. The games work now, and I'm not in Windows test mode. You will have to turn off secure boot if you want to do this regardless. So I'm running in just UEFI native mode with no secure boot. But as you can see, we have our 980M installed now. Gigs of VRAM, latest driver, 466.11, and that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can edit this video and put it on YouTube. And until next time, take care. Make sure to not like, not comment, and not subscribe.